Hi, I'm Heath Nock. Don't quite go by a nickname. Never quite could pick a good one, so just Heath Nock. I tattoo in Sydney, Australia, and everywhere else, but permanently live here. I started approaching the tattoo world during high school, where I was trying to get a job, but I wasn't 18 yet, so I was quickly turned away. Told to come back when I was 18. I could start mopping floors. That was 2002, but didn't quite start tattooing till 2004 or 5. Had a very interesting apprenticeship at that point, and it just took some time. If I wasn't a tattoo artist, I was always going to do something in art. My goal during high school was to design designs for snowboards, skateboards, and surfboards. I think that was pretty clear in my tattoo style, but always wanted to be an artist, always wanted to paint. Tattooing just seemed like the best job to get, where a best modern job to get, where you could still do art and be paid daily. I guess back in the day there were newspapers and magazines that were paying illustrators to constantly produce works for their newspapers or magazines. So tattooing just seemed to be like the right fit. I always was interested in it since I was a little kid. But yeah, if I didn't become one, still would have been drawing or painting or something like that. Well, my tattoo style, I guess, gets said to be traditional. I don't really know if I really follow that. I definitely follow the boldness of traditional tattooing. I've always said that it just looks like skateboard tattoos. So it just kind of looks like what should be on the bottom of a deck. I do like bold colors and bold lines. I would say more just skateboard style. Definitely say my tattoos are still evolving. They're becoming a little bit more abstract without really being abstract in the term of an art, like in the art world, of where it's broken down to just form. I think it's more abstract in the way that I'll use form that resembles like a leaf or a skull, or I'll rip things apart and stretch it out and have things coming out of other things. I'm still trying to like simplify it though, rather than add too much. It's kind of make it look crazy with minimal. I think that would be the best way to say it. Painting and drawing are fundamentals for sure. Any idea that I have has to be drawn. Generally I'll sketch daily. Could just be anything. Could be just as simple as a row over and over and over. Painting, I paint every day. If it's an oil painting or a watercolor painting or anything for tattooing, I'll paint it. I always pre-paint, sketch. I have multiple books full of ideas. Some loose, some tight, some finished. Yeah, some just gonna evolve over time. But drawing and painting are definitely the largest part of what I do. I think the tattooing is probably just the end 20% of it all. Influences for me would be Jim Phillips, for sure. Crumb, definitely. Ed Hardy. People that really made me turn a corner in tattooing though would be Steve Byrne, Chad Kaplinger, Greg Christian. I mean, these are people that are close friends of mine, but I'm lucky enough to have them as close friends because they inspire me a lot. Gregultron definitely blows my mind a lot, and yeah. In regards to my customers, well, I generally do completely custom works. I don't really take on anything that's a walk-in unless I'm at a walk-in shop where I'm there to just do whatever, achieve the best quality job that I could. But as for my day-to-day customers, generally just get an email of wanting time, and I either get asked for a Reaper or something weird. Always ask, like, what else do you want with it? Usually say they don't know, so pretty lucky. Some pretty open customers and a lot of trust, so pretty fortunate. I think the tattoo industry's changed a lot since I started. I think the internet was a huge influence on that. When I started, MySpace people were kind of just starting to put up tattoos and Flash. It seemed so foreign. Felt like, I was looking at it all like, holy shit, look at all these new ideas. Like, definitely going to use something like that. It was kind of weird to see people exposing their art and themselves and their ideas on there. It felt like anyone could take it, but it's been interesting. Definitely made tattooing as a whole evolve faster. I think, like, especially in Sydney, I don't really think there was many people doing anything worth talking about. And when the internet came along, when MySpace and Facebook and that came along, it really like gave everyone a kick in the butt. People just got that much better. I can't really say anything negative from it. There's a lot of new people tattooing that I personally don't know of, but they're able to flourish because, the internet, they're able to get work and present what they feel is a great tattoo, and people love it. So I don't know. There was a bunch of negatives when I started, so which aren't even worth talking about. But now it's a pretty cool industry. It keeps people on their toes, keeps people complaining, but ultimately it's awfully positive. With tattoo machines, I've only ever used Coils. I have owned a couple of rotaries, which were cool, but just couldn't get into them. They weren't really the way that I like to use a machine. I think that I'm pretty unorthodox how I use a coil machine anyway. Generally run it really slow. I remember reading machine gun magazines back when I started, and really kind of figuring out that you should match up the machine to everything that you do, like in your hand speed. And people complain that they can't do a straight line. Well, you're going to find a speed where a straight line is achievable. I've always enjoyed coils. You can definitely fine tune them more. You can order them to work pretty close to the way that you want it, and then move on from that. Favorite machine forever has been Walker frames, Set Safari. They've been probably the best, that and Morgan from here in Australia, FTW Morgan. Never had a problem with either of those machines. Love them to the end of the days. Tattooing still means a lot to me. Don't take it as personal as I used to. Definitely took it quite personal back in the day, or maybe a couple of years back. Take it a bit more easier now. Don't ride the waves of feast and famine. When it's busy, it's busy. When it's quiet, it's quiet. I generally paint a lot more fine art paintings nowadays. So we just try and find a balance between the two. So when it's busy, tattoo. When it's not busy, I paint. COVID's definitely gotten in the way of my plan of how I was, which is paint in Australia and then travel and tattoo everywhere else, and put bits of time here and there in Sydney. But yeah, tattooing still means a lot. Plans in the future, I'm just sitting tight and waiting for this COVID shit to end. I need to get back to America. I feel like it's kind of more people over there than Australia for sure, so more people open to weirder and cooler tattoos. That's just waiting around. In the meantime, just painting as much as I can, tattooing as much as I like. Yeah, just waiting for COVID to finish. Go back to America.